Welcome to Woo Woo with Rachel Dratch, the podcast that explores the unexplained with humor and curiosity. Hello and welcome to Woo Woo. Coming to you live, well, not live, but coming to you from New York City, where you can hear trucks backing up in the background. I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Irene Bremis. Hi, Irene.
Hi, sweetie. Yes, there's a whole team of construction workers out there. Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to Woo Woo, everybody. Irene, I feel like I should ask you if anything woo-woo happened to you this week.
Well, I thought you would never ask. In fact, yes, I had a dream. A few weeks ago, in fact, I had a dream that my friend Carrie, who had been trying to get pregnant for quite some time, in her 40s, was not able to get pregnant. I had a dream she was pregnant. I called her up, she was pregnant. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Come on.
Okay,
I mean that's
a
big.
good woo-woo thing.
That's a woo-woo thing, and I couldn't believe it. So
that.
I called my friend Carmen, and I was like, "You're not going to believe this, but I can't believe I had a dream that Carrie was pregnant." She's 40 years old and she's pregnant. And she goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe that Carrie's pregnant." And I'm like, "Screw Carrie. I'm psychic, sweetie."
Yes, that's the important part. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, now, has this happened to you before? Because I've had a lot of dreams, kind of like psychic dreams like that.
Ooh, well, oh my gosh, no.
I know.
mean, it does. When I was a kid, I also had a dream. One of the popes got shot and I dreamt that he got shot before he got shot.
What?
I know. I have a gift. I really do know. I'm just kidding. I don't know if I have a gift, but I definitely have these
You have a
deep
gift
premonitions.
once every 30 years, you have a gift.
Once every 30 years. And I don't think I have a gift left.
All right. Well, Irene.
Yes.
We have a very special guest today. I mean, I'm very excited because we've just started doing this, but I mean, we've really hit the jackpot with this lady.
Cha-ching.
She's a comedy star of stage, screen, bookstores. Do bookstores still exist? Everything. I mean, she
Amazon?
does it all. She does it all. She really does it all. And she's a very, very dear friend of mine. I'm so glad she agreed to come on and chat with us. Irene, please help me welcome Amy Poehler to the show. Amy, hello.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, ladies. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
Amy, it's kind of funny because when I first asked you if you would do this, you kind of said like, "Well, I'm a skeptic and I don't believe in any of this stuff." And I was like, well, that's great because we can definitely deal with skeptics because we like to approach this with a healthy dose of skepticism ourselves. So I know that you don't believe in ghosts, and we're going to get to that in a moment. But there are other sort of woo-woo things that I've known you over the years that you are kind of into. So we'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah. As I mentioned to you, Rachel, when you told me the idea, I said, I am woo-woo curious.
Okay. Woo-woo curious. But what I'm hoping is that we talk about your, that you don't believe in ghosts, and then a ghost haunts you this evening. Like I'm going to send a ghost to you.
I would, if anyone could, I feel like it could be you because I do feel you're like highly intuitive and you could send it to me. And there's nothing I would like more than to be proven wrong. I would love to meet a friendly ghost.
But also, I just want to say, as you know, I did have one ghost experience, but I'm not like a ghosty. I'm not like, yes, I completely believe. And there's always room for skepticism. So, so I'm glad to have you here as the voice of reason.
Yes, I will represent all the skeptics.
Okay,
out there.
Good. So first of all, what I'd like to do is just like talk about how we met and, you know, the first sort of like intro to comedy version of the Poehler and Dratch meetup. So I was going to say it's kind of a rare thing, but I think I remember the exact moment that I met you. Yeah. And I think for me, my memory is it was in the lobby of Second City. And I think you were with Kara, and you walked in, and you were like, the new kid in town. And I don't know if you were coming in as like just a student or an or whatever. I don't remember quite what you were like. I knew you were new in the improv scene. You were over at Improv Olympic. And I remember like, I just thought like, oh my gosh, look at this cute little chick. And she's like, you just had good energy. You had really good, friendly energy.
Oh.
And so I remember that. And then later, as we both know, you were at Second City and you were my understudy for touring company.
Yes, I was going to say that my memory, I should preface this by saying I don't have the greatest long-term memory. So maybe I have met ghosts and I forget, but I feel like I saw you first on stage. I feel like I saw you perform first, which is how most people fall in love. Like I saw you up on stage and I was like, oh my God, she's so funny. and so good. And at the time, I think you were in Second City. Were you also in like
I was doing IO.
Were you doing
I was doing that show and I was doing Improv Olympic. But the reason why you're my understudy and you saw me on stage first is because I'm a little bit older than you. So the viewers, so I was already just a touch. But anyway, I was already sort of like there. Well, I got to Chicago in 89 and I don't know when you got there, but
I got there in 93. So a little bit,
okay, makes sense. Anyway, one thing that I remember about you, skipping way ahead, is that you and the Upright Citizens Brigade, you guys left Chicago to go strike out on your own, even though you were all on the track at Second City, and you made this bold move where you guys were going to go do your own thing in New York, and I was like, why are they doing that? But they could just be on the main stage, because you guys are all so talented, obviously. You really were a pioneer and a risk taker, and you came out to New York and you started Upright Citizens Brigade, which became, the big, like the juggernaut of improv here in the city. And
wow.
And with both your shows and the school and everything. So I always admired you for that pioneer spirit, I guess we
Extraordinary.
Call it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, friend. I think I didn't really know what I was getting into. Like, I feel like some of those big swings were partly just like if I knew how hard it was going to be, I'm not quite sure if I would have been as brave. And I had people to do it with, which is a big deal. But yeah, I love to tell people that I was your understudy because I did get to watch you perform, and I was so lucky when I came to Second City to see you on stage and Steve Carell on stage and Steve Colbert on stage and Amy Sedaris and Tina and I were in the same improv classes together. And it was really like, I just can't believe that of all those people, I'm best friends with Steve Colbert. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
We also share. No, Irene and I are both from Lexington, and we also share that we have similar tracks because we're from neighboring towns in Burlington. And in case there's one person left in the world that doesn't know the story, Amy Poehler and I worked at the same ice cream place in Lexington, Massachusetts. It was called Chadwick's.
Oh, Chadwick's.
We tell the story often. Now, we were not there at the same time due to that minor age difference, but we both worked at this place called Chadwick's, where it was kind of 1920s garb. You had a styrofoam barbershop quartet hat. And so at Chadwick's, when it was your birthday, you got a big birthday song with kazoos and drums. And in my opinion, Amy and I were both drawn to the drama of Chadwick's. We were both like, what? I get to be on stage for a brief moment, leading the crowd and happy birthday? Because Amy, you had to travel for that job, Amy.
Yeah, you're right. I did. I wish I remembered how I found it, but you're right. I must have heard the extrovert's call of a place where we can. Do you remember that place, Irene? Do you remember going there?
Well, I remember Chadwick's, but I also, ironically, I worked at Brigham's.
Oh, yeah.
So I also, competition, that's right.
We also had the ice cream scoop hand.
I got the guns on the
that
scoop,
muscle going,
sweetie.
yeah.
I did, yeah.
Well, there
Chadwick's.
we have it.
We didn't get to sing happy birthday, though. So.
Yeah, it was I think, Drachi, it must have been this thing where we wanted to perform, right? And we just figured we get to be loud.
We wanted to wear a barbershop quartet hat.
Yeah, because there
put
wasn't
on
a
ruffly blouse with a black bow tie situation. Well, okay. I just wanted to of course now, over the years, Amy and I have become best of friends.
Yes.
And yes, we do hang out together, guys.
Yeah, it's real, guys. We do vacation together.
But when we vacation and hang out, occasionally we do talk about some woo-woo things. Now, there's one thing that Amy, okay, let's just talk about ghosts for a moment. Have you ever had, maybe I shouldn't say ghosts, but have you ever had any sort of eerie coincidences or woo-woo anything? Or are you firmly in the world of reality?
No, I'm like I said, I I love hearing people's stories. I love the feeling of coincidences, certainly. And I would kind of chalk it up to almost like, what simulation am I in? Like how I love, yesterday was the Lion's Portal. I did a thing with my friend. It's a moment in August, astrologically, where like the portal opens up and you can manifest a bunch of stuff.
Wow.
So we wrote a bunch of stuff down. We lit candles.
Okay, so you're fully woo-woo. If you're doing Lion's Portal, that's something I've never even heard
of that one.
Okay.
But we had the new moon.
Okay. The Lion's Portal.
Lion's Portal. So love the woo-woo, love all of that. But personally, I've never had anything that was specifically otherworldly or like chills, like, oh my, never like, I've had connections that have delighted me, but I've never had, let me tell you this story about the thing that happened to me. And conversely, when I hear other people's stories, and I'm working on it in therapy,
I think this is good though, what you're about to say. Go ahead. There's few stories that I have heard that I haven't been able to come up with maybe another reason why. And as I said to you, Rachel, just recently, I have never seen a picture of a ghost. Okay, well, we actually saw one last week when we interviewed. We saw a dog ghost. But
it was amazing.
You'll have to listen to Kevin Cahoon's episode for that one.
Okay, I can't wait. I love
We
Kevin.
saw a photo of a dog ghost. But
dog ghost.
I mean,
legitimately, a
don't
dog
think I'm
ghost.
crazy or anything, but I see dog ghosts too. Okay. And also, by the way, Leah Delaria is coming on. And it's funny. She has this story of a ghost. There's a lot of hotel ghosts, by the way. Hotels must be really haunted with ghosts, but she's like, oh, every hotel I go in, I get a ghost, whatever. But she told this story, that will be on this show, but that where like she got in a fight with a ghost girl, and she woke up with scratches on her neck, and I was like, what? And then a friend of mine was like, well, couldn't you just scratch yourself? And I was like, oh, I never even thought of that. Like, I mean, so I think it's good to go in with the scientific explanation.
Well, I even have a theory about why people, and again, this could be wrong. It's just a theory I make up in my head about why people claim to see ghosts or believe that they see ghosts in hotels, which is, well, you're in a strange place. You're sleeping in a strange place. Of course, like your sleep is interrupted. I think a lot of this stuff is in that liminal space between dreaming and awake. And of course, you're disoriented in a hotel. I mean, it's not your
that
bed.
coat is going to look like a 19th century
That's
man.
called the hypnagogic stage.
Oh,
that in
excuse
between.
me, science.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Someone read Wikipedia this morning. That's where all of our research comes from. Okay, so it's hypnagogic. All right.
Hypnagogic, yes.
Okay. Now, one thing that I think of with you, Amy, in the world of woo-woo that you kind of were into, now you've shifted a little bit, but you do kind of seem into astrology a bit, or jokingly maybe, because, well, this is funny. Okay, so Amy's a Virgo and I'm a Pisces, and those are kind of opposite signs. And because, well, Virgo, Amy, you always say, like, when you're making a schedule, like, I got to be Virgo about this. You know, she likes to be very organized, plan ahead. Pisces, we joke around, Amy and I, that while Virgo keeps a tight schedule, Pisces walls are smeared with feces. That was always our running joke.
That was your joke.
That was me. I said it. Amy didn't say it about me. I said, like, because I was trying to go like the messiest possible, and I am a slob. And I'm very last minute.
You are, as we learned, an Enneagram 9.
And here we go.
And a Pisces.
Yes.
And a Pisces. So what I have learned is that is a sextuple. I mean, that is so many Pisces in your chart. So you are a fish who loves the water. You like to, yes, and you're also a 9. So I would say that you like to go with the flow.
Totally. I
like to go with the flow.
I don't mind last minute plans, like a total last minute vacation. As I said, I veer towards slovenliness. No, I don't want to make it really bad. I'm not a hoarder or anything, but
no.
I do have organizational difficulties. Let's put it that way.
Do.
Irene, what are you? What's your sign?
So I'm a Sagittarius.
I don't know that much about astrology.
Both my parents
I know
are
a little
Sag.
bit about astrology, but I'm also.
This is funny. So Irene likes to think that she knows about astrology.
Well, I like to think
but
that
she
I'm an
does.
expert.
But what's funny is she'll meet someone. She'll be like, "Let me guess, you're an Aries," and they'll be like, "No," and then she'll be like, "Taurus," and like, "No," and then like, "Okay, I gotta get this. You're a Scorpio," and they're like, "No."
Okay, that's wrong too.
It's
okay,
really funny.
Suck.
It's
anyway.
funny. But
I'm
about
bad
the
at
signs,
this.
though. You know about the signs.
I do know a little bit about signs. I know that you're a Virgo. They're very fastidious. They pay a lot of attention to detail. You're also a Leo moon, which explains why you are on top of the world, sweetie. That combination it's explosive. Because think about it, a Leo. And it's amazing that you did that, the Leo portal, which I never heard of, by the way, which I'm going to be joining in.
Yeah.
Rachel, we have to manifest.
Never too
anyway, Leos love to be on a stage. They're very talented. They're generous. They're made for the stage. And the fact that you pay attention to detail only sets you up for success.
Ooh, producer.
Because
producer.
It's extraordinary. I mean, that combination.
What would you tell me about because I've realized just recently I'm an Aquarius rising, which
me
got
too.
me. What does that mean for us?
It means we're astrological sisters in the ascending world. Anyway, Aquarius they want to save the world, actually. They're very altruistic. They care about mankind and injustices. And this is the way the world perceives you. This is the perception of the world, by the way. Ascending means how the world perceives you. Your sign, Virgo, is who you are, but the moon is more who you are, actually, because it's the core, the crux of who you are inside, who you identify with the most, which is Leo.
That.
So, I mean, think about the three parts. It's incredible. Like you are altruistic. You know, that's the overlooming energy that you have. Then you're a Virgo, which pays attention to detail and is very organized, exactly, gets things done. And then you're a Leo, no nonsense, generous, but they don't take any bullshit and they're made for the stage. So you've got that triple combination.
Well, Pisces and Virgo are sort of like opposite signs, right? But I think we complement each other.
Supposedly they're great duos. And they are opposite, but they make a great team. And my buddy Rashida Jones is also a Pisces.
Oh, right.
And I guess Virgo and Pisces are just, they're perfect.
And don't you notice that every time you hang out with somebody, like you love Rach, and of course I love her too. Apparently I have a thing for Pisces as well. But then you want to connect to those. Of course, I know a lot about what couples too. Who you should avoid in signs, who you should get together with, because male astrology is very different from female astrology, you know, and female friendships are different than, you know, relationships or male-female.
So as we discuss astrology, like, I don't even know if I really, like, astrology is something that I kind of think like it's bullshit, but then I also identify with what's my sign, but then I'm always like, well, if I were another sign, would I pick out the qualities of that that apply to me? So I never quite sign off on astrology, but I don't know. Especially for predicting things. Like sometimes one person said like, oh, you've got to go to an astrologer. And then I'm like, cha-ching. Okay. Wait. By the way, Craig Chester, who was a guest on the show, we used to have this joke, like we'd see some little thing like whatever, a book, a movie, whatever it is. And then we'd always be like, oh, and then cha-ching, because we're always like shelling out money for this bullshit crap. But anyways, so I went to this astrologer and like, she didn't tell me anything like real, I should say.
Oh, she
but
did.
in general, though,
I tend to be weary of astrologers.
I'm not really
wary of astrologers.
But I like anything, and this even goes for the woo-woo of it all. Like if we're, I don't know what classifies as woo-woo on this podcast for you guys, but under all of it, to me, what I like is it helps me. It's like a tool to understand myself and other people. So whether or not everything applies, or whether or not, you know, just the way in which people talk about the kind of spiritual, metaphysical stuff, like I get to know about them. And that is the part I really like. I get to know what scares them or what they're interested in or what they're working on. And I love taking direction. So it's like, okay, so if my rising sign is something I'm supposed to focus on the last 50 years. Like, check, let's work on it. Like it's like gives a little structure to this very like hard thing, which is, living life.
Well,
that's a great way to look at it. Yeah.
Also into
great segue.
The Enneagram, which Amy's very into.
And
I'm very excited about this, by the way.
You can tell us more about this because it's a little more rooted in, do I say science or what? I mean, why don't you tell us what the Enneagram is? It's a personality sort of
and who really should be telling us is our friend Rachel Hamilton, who
and
is
I
the
thought
expert.
we could have her on. We can have her on for the deep dive. Because
she
really knows.
She should do the deep dive, but from what she has told me and what I have tried to learn myself, it's like 9 personality types, and you answer a quiz and you kind of start to look at different numbers. There's no good or bad number. They're all just like different ways, and they apply to why you do things. So it's kind of like, why do you do certain behaviors? What motivates you? And the motivation behind things. And there's the giver and the achiever and the enthusiast and the challenger and the peacemaker. There's all these different ways in which you can approach tasks. And why I have liked it is it helps me interpret other people's systems, and it helps me tell people about mine, because I always need to be reminded, like most of us, that we look at things differently. And so it weirdly, even though it's a classification that shows how people are different, for me anyway, it helps me feel closer to people. So that's what I like about it.
And so this was funny because I was just on a little trip with Amy and our friend Rachel Hamilton, and they both are really into the Enneagram. And so it was just funny because they'd be telling a story and like, oh, and so and so came up, he's a 5, and then it was like, and then like it was almost to the point where like the UPS guy came to put a package down. I was expecting them to be like, he's definitely an 8, because it's definitely the lens that. But I mean, I think the Enneagram is a little bit less, woo-woo for the derogatory terms.
Because you're taking a test, you're answering these questions, they're legitimate questions, you're responding to them, and it's just telling you what personality traits or characteristics you have.
And I think it might help.
I never heard of it until I tried it.
Oh, so
this is the
Irene
first time I
took
tried
the
it.
test.
Oh my gosh, Irene, what did you get?
Yeah. Well, I got a 2. I'm a 2.
I mean, that's no surprise. The giver.
Yeah, the giver. Yeah.
How did it feel? Did you read about what a 2 is? And does it feel like you?
Yeah, it felt like me. It made... obviously I didn't think everything was accurate. It was a very long test. I didn't take the one that you took. My test actually took like 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It was a very long test, but it felt accurate because I like to help people, but I can be very direct, and I don't know if that registered as much, but then I really love helping people. I mean, I sound like such a douche right now. I'm sorry. Like, I'm altruistic and I love to help people, but I really do. Literally, it makes me happy to to help people. Oh my God. But at the same time, I think, I did find it very accurate, actually. I like to help people, but over time, I have to give more to myself, because if I don't, then I will become resentful. So that I have to find that happy balance. And I found that very, very useful for me.
Now,
just like give to yourself a little more.
Irene wanted to guess what you are, Amy, and she has a guess, and I think she might be right, but I couldn't remember what number you are. But Irene, what was your guess of what Amy is?
Well, I read the rest of the numbers, and I felt like you might be, and I really don't know you, so but just based on everything that I know about you, I would say an 8.
Yes, I'm an 8.
A gift I have, my friend.
I know, and I didn't want to tell you. I thought she was
an 8.
I thought she was an 8 when you said it. I was like,
also, I can't believe that. It's so unbelievable to me that Drachi does not remember my number.
Well, I thought you were an 8. You were an 8, but then we have a 7 wing or something like that.
A 9 wing. I have the same wing as you, which is
okay.
And
you're
what is
like,
a wing, guys?
Amy's like, Rachel, you sat there and listened to me talk about these for a weekend, and you don't remember my number.
It's very 9 of you, Rachel, that you don't
and very
remember.
Pisces. And very Pisces. Feces on the wall, ladies and gentlemen.
But so you can have this wing. What I've been told, and again, I am no expert, but I'm an 8, so I believe that I am, is Irene, you can have a little wing on either side of you. So you can have a 1 wing, which is the reformer, which is kind of like rules and justice and getting things right. Or you can have a 3 wing on the other side of the 2, which is the achiever, which is a little bit more like, who do you want me to be? I'm going to get things done. I want to be the best at it. So you might have a little backpack on yourself and that's maybe what you're feeling, where your 2 is like, for the most part, that's right, but I have a little bit of one or the other there.
Right. It's almost like the ascendant and moon all over again with astrology.
That's right.
Like, you got a little bit on either side wing. Oh, wow. Okay.
So when I was when I was thinking of how to explain this to people, like, this is really old, right? This is the Enneagram, or we don't know.
Again, I wish I knew more about it.
Then I looked up and there's like actually podcasts about this.
There's so many podcasts about it.
And I was like, don't come here for information. But
I believe it's based on some old stuff. And I just will say, as a skeptic, what I like about it is I had to answer questions. So like it became a little bit more about me telling the test and myself like what was important to me or how I look at the world. So it didn't just feel as random as like the day you were born.
Yeah.
But I believe it's based on stuff. And I think it's really helpful. I use it a lot in work because it's about, kind of like what are your motivations behind things and what motivates you. So for example, it's important for a 2 to feel useful. And
yes,
to be of use is very important. And to your point, one of the things you want to make sure if you're like a manager of a 2 is that they're taking good care of themselves in the process. They're paying attention to what they want and need. And they really like hearing stuff like, that was really helpful. You really helped us there. You paid attention to what everybody needed and you stepped in at the right time. Like that's the feedback they like. Whereas other numbers, they just maybe would like different feedback. No better, no worse, just different. And that's been really helpful just as a boss for me to try to.
Amy, the 8, what is the 8's like headline?
Wow, that's so cool. It would be very useful in a boss situation. Wow.
So the 8 is the challenger. So the 8,
is the boss.
the 8 can be a good natural leader. The 8 will really stand up for their friends. The 8 hates bullies. They hate when people pretend to have power that they don't. They feel like directness is like it kind of calms them down. So the 8s get very stressed sometimes. I'll speak for myself. When they can't kind of figure out what's going on, they'd rather kind of hear it plainly and directly. They can handle it a little bit more. And so the 8s kind of relax when they feel like they're not being spun. So it'd be interesting if someone was like, you were so useful and helpful the other day. I'd be like, what's happening here?
I'd
be like, uh-oh. Whereas in shorthand, they're not as afraid of conflict as 2s. It sometimes is a way that they find a way to connect. Their work to do is to be vulnerable. When 8s are in a good place, when they're in growth, they act like a 2. They act like generous. They act like they're taking care of people. That's a good 8. An unhealthy 8 turns into another number.
Right.
So it's like, we have 8 and 2 are kind of like Virgo Pisces. We have a lot to learn from each other.
Yeah, right. I think it is definitely very interesting, and I'm interested to read up on the wing part that you just said,
maybe there's
cushion.
A little wing there that you've got where you feel a little more. And my 9 wing, which is what I share with Rachel, peacemaker, slower to make decisions, like a little bit more collaborative. We like the whole, the group. I like to think that it's where the ensembles that we've been in over our lives comes in, like how we like to work with people. Like I would say I share that with Drachi, like the joy of being in a harmonious group, like gives me a lot of joy.
Joy. That's beautiful.
A lot of joy.
Yeah. So this whole Enneagram thing, like we first heard about it from our friend, Rachel Hamilton.
Yes.
Who's a comedy friend of ours. And she's taken like a whole bunch of this, she's really studied up on this, but I don't really know much about it, but I sort of learned more about it just from hanging with these guys.
It's so interesting.
But it's a test you can take.
Yeah.
And apparently, according to my Wikipedia research, it is kind of comes from, wait for it, ancient times. Any time before now is where it comes from. But what's an example of a question?
Okay, this is a good one right here. Are relationships more important than goals? For me, that seemed like, well, my goals are very important, but not at the expense. You know what I mean? Like my relationships are very important. I love my friends. I love, how much I love my friends. Now I'm looking for approval. I'm being such a two right now. Yes, you're great. Everything's fine.
Yes, you do love your friends.
Well, I think too, I can, in the woo-woo of it all, in the same way at times when people would describe their ghost stories, sometimes my inner monologue, it has changed, I have to say, but sometimes my inner monologue was like, like a little disbelieving, or just a little bit like, that's a cool story, but like, let me know when you have proof that there's ghosts. I see that now when I bring up the Enneagram. I'm like, right. Like I'll talk about it with people and people will be like, and I'm like, oh.
I do think it's kind of interesting, like whatever lens you choose to try to make sense of who you are, whether that's.
Can I say something that I think this applies to like the ghosty psychic world of it all too? Here's how I would sum up my feelings about it. When I watch intuitives, psychics, and people who are like genuinely helping people connect, for example, people who, let's say they can speak to people on the other side, who can go into a group and, let someone know a message from someone who's passed. I get a deep, warm feeling for the people who are helped, because I feel like, and however you want to believe and whatever you want to believe is fine with me. And also, I feel like I can tell the tricks that the person is using. So, and I don't even want to label them tricks, because what is tricks, right? It's like reading people. I think people are really good at reading people. I read people all the time. I'm always kind of scanning people.
That's so 8. That's an 8 characteristic.
So
very
I scan
8.
people. I just don't necessarily like. I haven't had experiences in that way where I've been like, I can't explain that.
Right.
And maybe.
Right. Well, that's why like this whole sort of episode is more about astrology, Enneagram, like ways people use to make sense of the world. And if there's something in there that sounds like it resonates and you want to ride that out, then great.
Amazing. I think it's just like Amy said, to her point, that, it's a great tool for understanding yourself and understanding other people.
But it is funny that you brought up the whole medium thing, because that's a whole other thing. But I think I kind of think that's all bullshit. And I don't know, like I would love, I would love someone to be able to talk to the other side. But for me, what I've seen, when it's like a big group, and it's like, did someone here have flowers recently? And then of course, so like flowers can be any
on your
occasion.
Vulnerability.
Then they say like, is there an M in the audience? Like, well, why don't they say, I'm talking to, like, with a real name. Like, they just start out with an M. Yeah. Anyway, like those sort of group readings, I think that's all a hoax.
Yeah,
that's my own personal.
That goes back to my 8 challenger, which is, I'm just looking. I'm always a little I'm like, I like to challenge. And by the way, if I challenge, I would love, there's nothing that would delight me more is if I challenged someone in that arena and they proved me wrong. I would be thrilled.
Well, when you see this picture of the ghost dog, it might.
I mean, this ghost dog. It's inexplicable, quite frankly.
Ghost dog.
Okay,
there's a ghost chihuahua that happened.
But having not seen it,
I'm not challenging.
I just feel like there's photo errors all the time. Like every photo I've ever seen, which is like, this was a picture of a man, upside down in a closet. I'm like, you're right. It was a photo processing error. Like,
right.
Show me a cup that moves, babe.
Yeah, you know what? Show me a spoon that bends, babe.
Show me a cup that moves, babe. That's our merch. That's it. Now you've just come up with our merch quote. Show me a cup that moves, babe.
Amen to that.
My gosh. as we were speaking of sort of like ways of divining, what's happening, like I was thinking of tarot cards because to me, like in terms of just, you're kind of just interpreting what's there. So that seems like, to me, tarot seems like bullshit to me. Okay. Again, with all respect of the
tarot card readers out there.
Full respect of all the practitioners of this bullshit.
Like, someone who's reading tarot cards right now is very incensed.
It's bullshit, and then I said, with all respect. But I'm just trying to put forward, like, to me, I don't understand how tarot is a thing. But I will say, and Amy, you were there for this. I was kind of saving this because this is my bad story. This is my like, do not mess with the dark side. Oh, so it's kind of a downer. Yeah. It's kind of a downer. Yeah. But when we were on Anna's 50th birthday trip, okay, Anna Gaster and the SNL ladies went on this trip. Oh my God, I'm like feeling like tense telling this story. So obviously,
Amy, were you there?
She wasn't at the moment, but she was there. Yeah. So we went to this so for my birthday, as you saw in the movie Wine Country on Netflix, because for my birthday, we really did have a tarot card reader there, and she was really grouchy, and that was portrayed in Wine Country by Cherry Jones. and we amped up. Emily Spivey and Liz Kowski wrote the movie, and Amy directed and produced. Plugs. And but we amped up the comedy of having this tarot reader. So then when it was Anna's turn, I looked up this psychic readings, just for fun, okay? And we go to this sort of crystal shop, and there were all these, oh my God, I feel like talking about the story. There were all these little desks set up, and you could just walk to this random tarot reader. We all went to a desk. And so I went to this person. I swear to God, you might think that this sounds like something out of a movie itself. This person flips over a card or whatever, puts the configuration out there. I'm not kidding. She goes, you're going to lose. This is
oh God,
this is freaking. Okay. She goes, you're going to lose a family member within 6 months.
Oh my, okay.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Now, let me say, and this is the sad part of the story, that my dad had just been diagnosed with cancer. Okay. 4 months earlier. And he was undergoing treatment. And she says this to me, and I'm on this fun trip, Oh my gosh. And then I didn't give up anything because I was so shocked that I didn't say yeah, that actually, because I was just stunned, And then she sort of backed off. She was kind of but I didn't say yes or no or anything. She sort of said or it could be a pet or a losing a job or something like that. But all I heard, of course, was that because that was her opening thing. So I come away from this thing just stricken, I guess. And then I told the ladies, I was trying to just shake it off for the rest of the time. But she said within 6 months. So anyway, tried to shake it off. And then I was okay, if my dad can just make it past the 6 months. This is so freaking sad that I'm saying this. But my dad passed away 5 months later. Wow. Within the 6. And I'm not saying this to be isn't this a great psychic story? She had gifts. I'm saying this more I don't know what I'm saying. It's sort of if you want to believe the good stuff that comes across your path, oh, I'm going to get that job. And then someone has the stupidity. Because I feel most people in this, even if they're doing it for fun or they think they're for real or whatever, maybe don't say that to someone.
Maybe never lead in with that or maybe never say that.
It's kind of an eerie story because it was real, but anyway, we're joined by comedian Amy Poehler here. Shit, I went so dark. But Amy was there. She had to hold my hand through it. But I guess what's my point of telling this story? Because it's not for fun. It's for I don't know. Amy, help me out here.
I love this story because, first of all, I love how you feel it when you tell it, which is to me so indicative of you, Dratch, is you feel things very deeply.
Very deeply.
And you're using that story as an example of frankly, the woo-woo of it all can be kind of harmful if in the wrong hands. Yeah. And use that's a tough thing to say someone randomly out of the game.
Ladies weekend.
Edit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you do with that? That's so interesting.
Yeah, and what do you do with that?
What do you do with all of it? But it's just funny what happens in my brain when you tell that story. I find that to be when you tell that story, I get very protective of you and I feel very protective of that person, and I get very angry at that person.
Yes.
And also, I feel like that was just a lucky guess. Like a family member in 6 months. That feels like that's what you would say like on a script in a telephone call.
You might make it good. You might say.
And so it feels very, very. It feels like very like just like a lucky thing that not an unlucky thing. But you know, it that does not for me prove the point. It doesn't prove the point.
Because like if she had said like you're gonna get this movie in whatever that starts and then it happened, I'd be like, oh my gosh, she was right. So she was right, but it was like I don't know. It was like the dark side of all this woo-woo stuff.
I just think like
I feel bad that I told that story when we're joined by comedian Amy Poehler. You came here for laughs. And you got my death story, but anyway,
I mean, she's just planting a negative seed, you know. I mean, that's just the bottom line is, hold your tongue there.
Yeah, that's for
hold
sure.
It, bitch. You know what I mean? Don't just come out and say it.
Right.
What do you think?
Part of me believes she was onto something, but then another part of me is like, I don't really believe in tarot, so I don't know where I stand on this. I'm being a Pisces and saying I agree with everything.
And the other thing, and this is like I feel like the crux of your podcast.
Yeah.
It's all.
Can you tell me what it is?
It's all
figuring it out.
It's all in the messenger. Like I will hear and listen to and enjoy and will enjoy in your podcast all of these different funny, like interesting people tell me whatever they see, believe, and like it's just who's the messenger, babe.
Yeah.
And this messenger
make the cup move, babe. Yeah.
Babe, this messenger was the pits.
Yeah, she was the pits.
She was the pits.
Yep, absolutely. Planting a negative seed. In fact, I think I lead in with that when I go to a psychic. I'm like, don't tell me anything negative.
You think you don't have to say that. You think that is part of the job
apparently, you do.
Jeez, I guess so.
Unless you get somebody who...
Okay, we got to...
or psychics that have said this. Have you ladies ever heard this one? Somebody put a curse on you?
No. Staten Island.
You want to see how
Irene
you create
lives in Staten Island.
frenemies? Somebody's very jealous of you and put a curse on you.
What?
I'm like,
Someone
Becky,
said
was that you? Anyway.
Someone said that to you?
It's a whole frenemies. What? No, seriously.
Someone said
yes, and they want you to go back. It depends on who you get.
Yes, that's
Irene,
criminals.
You're nobody unless somebody put a curse on you. I mean,
that's true.
Right.
Sweetie,
good point. Talk to me. That's right, babe. I love babe now. I love you, babe.
Like, listen, babe. If you don't have any curses on you, then you're not special enough. Okay,
that's right. I want a voodoo doll with somebody holding my feet to a flame, sweetie. You're right.
And then if someone's like, "Hey, burn the sage in this room to get," I'm like, "Sure, great." Like,
cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Get thee to the crystal shop at once. You come out with a giant shopping bag, all varieties of sage, because you want to make sure you get the right one.
I love crystals. You know why I love crystals? I like there's a great crystal shop in New York called Stick, Stone, and Bone.
Okay.
And what I like about it is you go in and there's little, like, this is, rose quartz.
Constipation.
This is what it's for. Exactly. I like specific. Tell me where it's for. I put it on my forehead.
Oh.
Great.
The woo-woo's, the woo-woo's coming out. We discovered.
The woo-woo's coming out. The Virgo woo-woo's coming out.
Very on her forehead.
Specificity is a Virgo trait.
Yep. Stick those crystals. If it says stick these crystals in your butt, go to sleep.
Okay.
Fine.
How many do you have in right now?
I have
just one.
I have my specific podcast. But I like practical tactile things.
Okay.
And so I like I will say objects help me feel more grounded and spiritual at the same time. So
I like that.
It's harder for me to relate to I've never walked into a room and been like, there's something here.
Right.
Or but Drachi, you felt.
I have?
I
did have the ghost.
Yeah, I feel like
you're an
feel
intuitive.
it in your body.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I think you have a great intuitive sense of like, what just happened here? I do think you feel it.
Well, also, I'm a real pain in the ass at a restaurant because I need everyone to be sitting the right, like I need the feng shui right in a restaurant. That doesn't count. I feel something happens in this seat.
I think you're like you definitely are very intuitive.
Yes.
Okay. You feel you're a triple Pisces on top of it. I'm going to have to believe in that astrology that no one believes in.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
And then also one more thing that I just realized that Amy, you are into manifesting too, which I like.
Yeah,
I
manifesting.
do like
typing
that.
on your little typewriter.
Okay, so
if you want to share that.
Yes, so lately I've been doing this thing, and podcasters can't see what I'm doing, but I'm pretending to type into a typewriter.
An old-timey typewriter.
An old-timey typewriter, right? That you have to hit the side. Yep. Because that's how I remember typewriters.
Yeah.
But sometimes I type things into my typewriter that I want. I think I am a big manifester. I do believe you have to kind of believe it to get it.
And look at you. You've got so many
and you're good at it.
Yes.
I'm terrible at manifesting. I get half manifestations.
Okay,
that's
stop saying that. Right there.
Where's the sage and the crystals?
Get the sage. Get to Stick, Stones, and Bones.
Yes, Stick, Stones, and Bones immediately. I need the whole I need the whole goddamn kit, sweeties.
Let's get the big jumbo shopping cart.
Okay. I think that should be something, Irene, from now on. You're like, I'm really good at manifesting.
Yes.
I'm very good at manifesting.
Yes.
You know, and I
love getting really specific with my manifestations. I like that a lot. So I make a lot of lists. I like to write down goals for myself. Yeah. And a lot of them come true. And I feel But that makes me feel proactive, and the action items are helpful to me.
When The Secret came out, this might be its own episode, The Secret. But I had when that came out, I was really into it. I'm embarrassed to say.
Yeah.
But then I had some crazy things happen. And I'll just share one of them is that when that came out, it said, write down what you want, So I wrote down that I want to get, a movie part of, and then that's just so generic, right? So then I wrote down, I want to do a movie in a cool foreign land, okay? Which is kind of a weird thing because comedies don't often shoot in cool foreign lands. And then several months later, I got to do this movie with Nia Vardalos called My Life in Ruins that shot in Spain and Greece.
Wow.
And I thought, and then I immediately remembered that I had ordered that with the universe.
That's right.
It was really
manifesting. Specificity is very important. You have to be very, very specific.
Just one more.
Yeah.
One time I got some random bill for $3,000 and I was like, oh God. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to stress about this. I'm going to ask the universe for $3,000. And I swear, the next week, I got a mystery, like a check from a residual or something. It was for $3,000.
Manifesting.
And I'm shouting right now.
I believe that. I believe that.
I know.
I got to
get back in touch with that.
That's my woo-woo. That's it.
Exactly. And it works. I mean, I've had manifestation, I've manifested things, but then when my energy isn't specific and I'm not, like you said, you really have to wholeheartedly believe it, and if I'm in a space where I'm not 100% believing it, then I'm confusing the universe at the same time when I'm manifesting. So
yeah, I really do think there's something to turning the frequency or your channel where you're like, good things happen to me, good things are coming my way. I think it isn't.
I need a reset.
It isn't positivity. That's different. It's that
exactly
what is meant for me will find me. And I do think that the idea of writing down or thinking about or speaking about what you kind of want to have happen next. I do believe for the most part, we are architects of our lives. We build our lives brick by brick, memory by memory, piece by piece. And what we pay attention to is our life. That is what our life is made up of, what we pay attention to.
That's
right.
So I think if we give attention to what we want to have happen or what feels good, or that it does create this dust cloud that then turns into something.
Yeah.
And at the very least, it keeps us out of, for me anyway, it's not helpful for me to think about what's not going to happen. It just, for me, doesn't work for me, because scarcity mentality for me gets me really sad and depressed. And as we all know, it does not matter what you have. We know so many people that have so much and still feel like they don't have anything, what they need. Yeah. So the amount you have means nothing. It's like, I'm working on it. It's a practice. It doesn't happen every day. There are days where I stumble. And when I think about it like a radio station. And I'm like, why am I tuned into such a low vibration right now? And it just happens sometimes, like you're like, oh, this is interesting. I've been on a low vibration station for a week. Time to turn the channel.
I'm feeling, you know how before I was feeling bad?
I mean,
I'm feeling a reset.
Serious.
I'm feeling a cellular reset.
It's like it's an antenna. I'm doing Amy Poehler Typewriter. I'm calling it from now on.
I'm going to follow you as my cult. You're my cult leader now.
Yep. No, it's true.
Oh, eights are very good cult leaders. Eights are good cult leaders. Yeah.
You know, I'm already a cult whatever. I'm already in your cult. I'm already in the Amy.
We're in the cult already.
What do you guys want me to type into the typewriter?
Oh,
what do you want?
How dare you? She's typing right now. Oh my gosh. I'm not accessing it.
It's okay.
You have to be very specific.
Oh man.
I know what I want. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to blurt it out. I'm not going to be shy about it. I want my special to be sold to Netflix, my comedy special.
Irene wants her special to be her comedy special to be sold to Netflix. Okay. Done.
I'm drawing a complete
I love you, sweetie.
I love it, Irene.
I'm drawing a
I love it,
blank.
Amy. I love you right now. I'm going to be doing this, manifesting. You have to throw something in the typewriter. No,
I can't
think of something. Something big.
Shoot.
Or
oh
small.
My God.
Doesn't have to be.
Okay, or small.
I'd like a turkey sandwich for lunch. Okay. Are you taking orders? What if the doorbell rang and someone was like, "Oh, this one we got a missed delivery."
Excuse me. I mean, Amy would be a believer on the spot.
I
okay.
know.
I mean, you already believe in manifestation.
I want a ghost to visit. No, I don't want a ghost to visit. Yeah. Oh well, I told you this one before that I wanted to do. I want to do another Broadway play.
Yes.
That's as fun. Or even more fun than POTUS was. I had told you that one before. That already went in your typewriter.
Oh, I already put it in my typewriter. I'm going to type it again, though. I'm going to type it again. Draghi, next Broadway play. As fun or more fun than POTUS, which was an incredible show that you were in.
Yes, very fun.
And I don't know. I probably have a bunch. I'm going to tell you my other ones in private after I think about them, because you have the magic typewriter.
Oh God! Now you really
understood.
We're
Copy
gonna
that.
both be telling you our other stuff.
Cut to like me buying land in Santa Fe, and you're like,
we show up with our bags, our duffel bags,
and it's like the magic typepwriter people, and we all have typewriters. And then you're like, what point did it turn into everybody having sex with each other? I'm like,
Amy.
My God! It just magically did.
That's
I don't
what
know.
happens with the cult. Unfortunately, after all the cult documentaries I've watched, it's always about sex. Always about sex with underage girls.
Turns in always the cult.
I don't know why it took me this long to realize that. It took me so long. I just thought it was like, oh, you're preferring this cult instead of a whatever typical religion. No, it's always
it
about
always
sex.
ends up everybody having sex with each other.
Oh, God.
That's right.
And as I've said this to you before, Draghi, I love watching those cult things because they always talk about how incredible the cult leader is and how dynamic and how handsome and how gorgeous he is. And then they always cut to the cult leader and you're like, that's the guy?
That's the guy? What?
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
We've covered a lot of ground.
I don't know if anybody wants to ask Penji anything.
We do have. So Irene does the pendulum reading.
Yes, I do.
Of a yes
or no
what's
question. That?
So
this little device right here, sweetie.
She's always right. She claims, and the pendulum circles clockwise for yes or counterclockwise for no.
Yep.
She's had great success.
I've had great success.
Okay.
Here, no. Show me yes, and then you stop it. You think about it. Please do not blurt out the question. We'll ask you after the answer comes. And I do one for safety. I take it very seriously. All right. Let me know when you're ready, sweetie.
So think of the question. Don't say it.
Don't say it. And then after the pendulum has spoken, if you will, then we will ask you your question.
Okay.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Looks like a yes.
This looks like a yes, but I always do a safety, just in case. Let's see. Same question.
Okay, it looks like a yes again.
Okay, it's a yes. What was it?
Oh my God, exciting. I'm going to an event tonight and like a new space. And I was like, is tonight going to be fun?
Okay.
All right. Well,
okay. Well, you have to let us know. It's going to be fun.
And the answer was yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Fun is great.
Fun is good. Fun is light. Oh,
I'm looking for fun. I'm looking for fun.
Oh, good. And manifest that.
I'm manifesting fun tonight. And the pendulum said yes. So
yes.
I want to get out while I'm ahead.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. You're going to have fun. Awesome.
All right. Well, Amy, thank you we covered so much.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
this was so fun.
We covered every woo-woo thing you could imagine. And we also have our new slogan, make the cup move, babe. Is that what it is?
What? Make the cup move, babe.
Make the cup move, babe.
Amy's typewriter.
And Amy's typewriter. And Amy's cult. Meet us in Santa Fe in a field. Amy will have her imaginary typewriter. But Amy's a lot hotter than most cult leaders that we've run across.
Thank you.
Extremely hot.
I
mean,
Amy,
really.
you look absolutely
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Yes, Amy, you are hotter than the guy from
oh my God, thank you.
What was that one called? The worst one?
If you want to find me, I'll be on a giant pile of pillows and you have to fuck your way up to the top.
Excellent. All right, and on that note, thank you so much, Amy. We'll see you at the top of the pile of
That's
pillows.
Right. We'll see you at the top of the pile, baby.
Have fun tonight. We know you will.
We know you will.
Angie said so.
So much
Thank
fun.
you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of woo-woo. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to hear more from our pal, Amy Poehler, check out her podcast, Say More, with Dr. Sheila. And doctor is a question mark after it because she may or may not be a qualified practicing psychotherapist. It's really funny. Woo Woo with Rachel Dratch is a Q Code production. Executive produced by David Henning and Steve Wilson. Produced by Alexa Gabrielle Ramirez. Edited by Ben Milchev.